Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. Today I'm going to review the TOZO NC7 True Wireless Earbuds, which cost only $60, yet they can offer plenty of features including active noise cancelling. I got the buds from TOZO themselves for testing, but no money exchanged hands and they had no influence on what I'm going to say about their product whatsoever. So let's see what the TOZO NC7 buds are like. Their design looks familiar. They are simple, small, black buds with no outstanding visual features, and they weigh 5.3 grams each. The NC7s are made of plastic with quite a good build quality. The buds got a two-tone finish. They are matte black on the outside and more of a glossy black on the inside. I believe that it would have made more sense the other way around, as the matte plastic on the inside of the buds would probably give you a better grip in your ears. Not that there is anything wrong with the fit or the comfort of the buds, but I still think it would have been a better idea. However, as I said, the fit is good, but the buds sit deep inside my ears and that's something not everyone likes. On the other hand, the deep-sitting buds provide a fit secure enough for exercising, which might be important for others. And they give you 6 different ear tips in the box, so you can find the best fitting ones for yourself. Plus there is the IPX6 rating as well, which means that you can even take a shower with these buds if that's what turns you on, or simply just rinse your buds after you run to keep them clean. The case is also small and lightweight, easily pocketable too. The hinge could be more solidly built because I find the loose lid getting in the way sometimes, but otherwise the case is fine. Taking the buds out of the case is a bit hard, even with my not so huge fingers, so that might cause a headache for some people with bigger hands. According to the official specifications, the buds can last up to 10.5 hours with ANC off, and you get 32 hours of battery life in total together with the case. You can charge the case using the USB-C port on the back, or even wirelessly, as the case is Qi wireless enabled. That's not too bad from such a small case, especially for $60. The NC7 use Bluetooth 5.0. It means quick pairing and stable connection regardless of what device you connect your buds to. ANC and SBC are the only items on the menu as far as codecs are concerned. We get single bud mode, which means that you can use each bud on its own. Switching between the buds is smooth enough and only takes a couple of seconds. There is no noticeable lag with movies at all, but there is some minor latency present in games, so that can bother the hardcore gamers, but it was still more than good enough for me.
There are 2 mics on each bud, which make phone calls sound okay-ish. My voice sounds a bit thin and quiet, but it's more or less free from distortions, and it's relatively easy to understand when it's quiet around me. Noise reduction is not the strongest I've heard, as the background noise stays quite loud, as you can probably hear through the mics on the TOZO NC7 now. This is a simulated cafe interior with the noise coming from the speakers behind me. And for your reference,
this is what the noise actually sounds like through the Rode NTG5 microphone in front of me.
Switching to some street and traffic noise, the NC7 can deliver much better results as less of the noise gets through the mics, making my voice easier to hear and understand. And again, for your reference,
this is what the street noise sounds like through the Rode NTG5.
So this was the mic quality test of the TOZO NC7.
Onto the controls, we got a touch-sensitive interface on each bud, and they offer outstanding functionality. You can control play, pause, tracks forward and backward, volume up and down, all at the same time, which always makes me smile. And of course, you can activate your voice assistant. You can manage phone calls, plus you can toggle between ANC and transparency modes too, so there is nothing missing. Maybe a smartphone app with some customization and EQ options would be fine, but it's rare in this price range anyway, so I cannot blame TOZO for not having one. But the touch controls work perfectly fine, they are quick and responsive, and again, they have all functions you can ask for. However, on a personal note, the buds sit so deep in my ears that even though touching the controls does not require you to push them at all, I feel like I'm massaging my eardrums a little. But that's just me and my ears, which have proven to behave strangely many times before. But my ears or not, the buds can sense when they are in or when you take them out, so we get autoplay pause as well, and that really makes the controls a full package. Next up is the active noise cancellation. You can toggle between two settings using a single tap action on the left bud. One is ANC on and the other one is transparency. No steps in between, no customization or any other settings. And weirdly enough, only when you take the buds out of the case is the ANC turned off completely, and unless you put the buds back in the case, you cannot turn off ANC again. You can only toggle between ANC on and transparency using the controls. So this is something that you have to keep in mind, but let's see how the buds performed in my ANC test. For starters, I have to say that even with the ANC turned off, I got a decent passive noise isolation in my ears, so that's a good start, but your mileage might vary. Transparency mode is not too loud or intense, but voices and noises sound natural and not overly amplified, which is a good thing in my book. But it only works well at low to moderate volume levels for the same reasons. I tested the ANC of the buds using the Mini DSP headphone and earphone audio response system and the Room EQ Wizard software. I played some airplane white noise through my desktop speakers, and I set the bass sound pressure level to around 85 decibels and then turned on the ANC on the buds to see how it affects the SPL values. As you can see on the graph, it went down to somewhere between 68 and 70 decibels, which means 15 to 17 decibels of attenuation. That's a good result, and it's very similar to what some of its direct competitors such as the Inekfire A9 or the Soundpeats T2 can do. It cannot quite compete with the very best such as the Soundcore Life A2 NC or the Earphone Air Pro, but these buds cost a little more than the NC7 anyway. When it comes to chatter and human voices, the NC7 could not filter out as much noise as it did with lower frequencies, but compared to what other budget earphones can do, the NC7 delivered results which are pretty much on par with the best according to my own measurements. But I have to add that even though I would like to believe that my tests are accurate enough, your experience might be completely different because the efficiency of the active noise cancelling depends on many different factors, such as passive noise isolation, what ear tips you use, how you wear your buds, what actual environment you are in, and so on, so please keep all that in mind. But regardless of all that, I'd like the ANC of these buds pretty much. And now let's talk about the sound quality of the TOZO NC7. The buds can reach high enough volume levels, but I've heard louder earbuds before. Their sound signature is a bit too bright. We get just enough bass for most genres, but most of you will probably find the bass less powerful and dynamic than ideal. So the bass is well controlled, actually a bit too well behaved in my opinion, but the mid-range and especially the highs can benefit from it. With these buds you can expect a detailed and excited treble. Vocals could be a touch more sweet and more forward maybe, and the sibilants are not handled exceptionally well either. We get good imaging and separation, but there is not much of a sound stage, which is very common in this price range. So the TOZO NC7 can deliver a comparable musical performance to that of the competition, but the Earphone 3 Pro or the Soundpeats T2 for example have a bit more impactful bass and a bit more dynamic headroom too. The NC7 are definitely not the best choice for energetic songs with loads of bass or piercing highs, but they can do a good job with some acoustic music for sure. And if you want to EQ the buds, you have to use third-party software due to the lack of a TOZO smartphone app. So to conclude this review of the TOZO NC7, I gotta say that I was happy enough to use these buds for the last couple of weeks. Even though the design is rather uninspiring, it suits me well, I found the comfort and the fit of the buds great. You get an IPX6 rating, Qi wireless charging and a good battery life, all of that in a small and lightweight package. The active noise cancellation works well, so do the touch controls and the connection is solid too. Only the phone call quality is something that could be improved. And if you don't like too much bass in your music, but you'd rather focus on the higher frequency details, then these buds will serve you well. And that's it for today. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel. If you have any questions, make sure to comment them down below. Have a great day everyone, and thank you so much for watching. See you next time.